So this is Seawolf. This is the machine that I set the world record on back in 2001. You can see over here the you can see the Pierce scope. Unfortunately, the machine isn't working. But again, this is the machine that I set the record on back in 2001. Here's Mania Challenge. This unfortunately isn't working either, but this is the other machine that I set a world record on. This was back in 2002. Can't really see it, but it looks a lot like Mat Mania, and that's because it's the game that came out just after. The big difference is that this game doesn't have as many opponents. It's more of a versus game than anything else. So there are 3 or 4 opponents, and you just kind of fight them in sequence over and over again until you lose. So that's Mania Challenge, and that's the other game that I set a record on. Here's Track and Field. This is one of the first games that I played when I started coming up here back in 2000, and then again in 2001. As you can see, this game's been played so much, the high scoreboard's kind of wonky. But if you look down here at the cabinet where the run button is, or the run buttons are, it's all kind of faded, where people are leaning on the machine. You can take a look up here. I actually set the new record on this machine for the 110-meter hurdles earlier today. Hopefully that record will stick around. We'll have to see again. I actually have 1st and 3rd place on this machine. That was kind of cool. Interesting thing about Track and Field at this location is that they only let you play through each game once. Unlike some other machines that have Marathon where you can keep playing until you don't qualify, once you get past the high jump in this game, the game ends. And whatever your score is what they put in the record book. And I'm only able to get around 82,000 or so this weekend. Here's Hypersports, also from Konami. Yeah, probably recognize those initials, that's me. This is the skeet shooting competition. I've been playing this a lot this week. As you can see, I have won 2 of the records on the machine right now. I have the skeet shooting record and the archery record. I also have the top 3 scores plus a bunch of other ones. Yeah, I'm PJS on this machine. Something that's interesting to note, if you take a look at the buttons, there are actually button guards here, so you can't slam on the buttons. You actually have to kind of use your finger and put it right in between here. If you try and hammer on it, not only are you going to hurt your finger, but you're not going to get a lot of speed. So here are the top 3 scores for today, and again, that's all me. So this is Hypersports, one of my favorite games here at the American Classic Arcade Museum. I've talked a bit about Mad Planets before. Mad Planets is an interesting game with a joystick assembly here, and actually the fire button's on the inside, and then there's a wheel to rotate your ship. The general idea is to try and shoot down all the planets before they run into you. It's pretty addictive game, although I'm not very good at it. The 141,000 points was set by somebody else here. I haven't been able to crack 100,000 on this machine. But still, it's a lot of fun. If you find it at your local arcade, give it a shot. This is Mad Planets from Gottlieb. This here is the full motion video bay here. This is Astron Belt, which is one of the first Laserdisc games. As you can see here, all this really is it's kind of like an outer space scene playing off the Laserdisc. And then what you have to do is just shoot down the ships, and if your pixel winds up colliding with a ship as you fire, then you blow them up. Haven't played this yet. I hope to play it at some point. This is Cliffhanger from Stern. This is another Laserdisc game, as you can see. There's a hands and feet button. I think there are 2 of them there, and there's also a joystick. I haven't played this yet, so I don't really have a lot to share on it. Everybody knows what Space Ace is. Here's Space Ace here. I'm not very good at this, so I haven't played it yet, but it's really cool to see one of these up and running. Ooh! Here is Mach III, and I'm actually sitting inside of the cabinet. This is from Milestar. Again, the big deal back at this particular time, this is from 1983, is just being able to be a part of a movie and play the game, even though it's just a basic shooter on top of actual footage. For the time period, it was really cool to play. Again, this is Mach III. Then this is Atari's Firefox. I've talked a bit about this before. This uses footage from the Firefox movie with Clint Eastwood, even though you don't see Clint's likeness in the game. And it's got this Star Wars type yoke wheel that you play the game with. So this is pretty neat. This is Firefox. And of course, this needs no introduction. I wrote a column about this game and others for RetroWare. This is Dragon's Lair. Interesting thing about this particular machine is they actually have the flashing moves kind of disabled. So if you don't know the game upside down and inside out, you're going to die pretty quickly. And that's Dragon's Lair. And that's all of the FMV games here at FunSpot at the American Classic Arcade Museum. I'll kind of zoom out so you can get a peek at them. Really neat. There's also one other one, and it's not working right now, but this is Cobra Man. You've probably seen this for the Sega CD. Again, and you really can't see it because it's dark, but here's the joystick and such. So that's full motion video, the FMV games here at the American Classic Arcade Museum.